What did you say to me?
Something about your mom. We'll talk about it later.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought you were saying something about how lucky I was.
To have me as a friend?
Oh,
Yeah.
that. I was gonna say, yeah, I am pretty lucky. Went out with Ryan's mom the other night.
I kept your mom company while you were out. Sorry.
That's good. She needs it. She needs it. Ryan's not fulfilling her needs. He rarely does.
We miss him.
We do miss him. Come back to me, Ryan. Come back.
Play the intro. Next Thursday, Bears and Commanders. Sounds like a real barn burner.
Oh, taking the under right now. Actually, maybe not. I don't know. Something to look forward to. Regan, can you believe week 4 is upon us? We are almost
this year is flying by. Never mind fantasy.
Never mind that. Yeah. What do we have? 80 something days until Christmas. So you're welcome out there. Take it as Regan.
Really?
Sorry, I should have told you that.
Mid-sip.
Mid something, that's for sure. Welcome in, takers, to Just the Tip, a fantasy football podcast. We are your tippers. 2 of us out of the 3 anyway. I am Mac, Disfatt-Bidge. We got IR Regan here. And Ryan is, I don't know, what was his excuse this time? Teaching, homework, something? He's too good for us. Yeah, that's what it was. Nah, Ryan, he's going through some stuff. I'm going through some stuff. Regan, you're going through some stuff.
Just me.
We're just not sleeping or anything, so it's tough. So bear with us, takers. We're not doing as much as we want to, but I just bought a house and stuff, so I'm going through all that. I just want to apologize that we're not getting enough content out for you. But you takers have been reaching out to us, commenting, liking our stuff. Just a Tip FFP. It's much appreciated that you keep supporting us through these rough times without Ryan here and
Let's
such.
Let's not say rough. Let's just say not the usual.
Busy times. That's all.
Yep.
That's what I mean. Some like it rough, though. I can say rough. It's okay.
You sure can. It's your podcast. You can do whatever you want.
That's right. Free country.
We're going to get censored, but it's cool.
We're all adults here. We could say whatever the hell we want.
My phone won't even let me write hell.
Your wife has a child lock on it. No swears to the kids. All right, takers. We're going to get into starts and sits questions. We got Hurt Locker, the injury update for you. I want to talk about some stuff on the tip-off question that you should need, and then some ballsy, deep tips. Tipping ain't easy. Sexy flexy time. And then we'll go through the wins at the end of the episode. And then make sure you follow us, Just a Tip FFP, and subscribe and like where you can, and leave a review. Be much appreciated. And keep following us because I got some juicy bets coming out. I'll be putting in a short and a reel, so make sure you stick around for that. And
I missed another close one.
Oh no!
I did a 3-leg parlay, and I think I got like 3 of them right, and one of them was for Joe Burrow to have less than 265 passing yards, or it's like 255.5.
Oh, and
57.
He just went over. I took the under on his yards too. Yep.
Like, awesome.
Yeah. Wasn't enough touchdowns scored in that game either. Too many field goals. So I missed my bet on that one too. I'm killing this one though. Tonight we are recording on Thursday Night Football. Lions destroying the Green Bay Packers. So I went heavy on the Lions. So it's working out. Amon-Ra, St. Brown just doing work. I love it. All of them are. Laporta. Oh, I hope they keep this together and keep it going, man.
Why would you even question it, you piece of shit?
Because they're the Lions.
Knocking on wood.
Tip-off question for you, Regan.
Okay.
We are through week 3. We are coming up on to week 4. are you giving up on anybody? Is there anybody of, a bigger name that we're either just holding on one more week or you're ready to drop? I was going to get to him later, but takers, if you've been listening, you know that I've been huge into Jahan Dotson for Washington as one of my favorite late round wide receivers to throw in your flex. And it's not good. I'm giving him one more week, but he's at wide receiver 74 right now, so it's not good. You don't have to play him. I think I might because it is a juicy matchup, but against the Eagles, where points need to be scored, so we'll see what he can do. But hopefully, he gets into double-digit points this week. But I don't blame you if you want to bench him. I'd still would hold on to him. Just see what he does this week, if you can help it.
Oh, it's tough, dude. I got a couple names that pop into my head. Drake London's obviously one of them. He's got I think 8 receptions so far in 3 games. That's not what you want from a number 1 wide receiver.
Gross.
The problem is his name is just it's worth something. And if somebody thinks that he can do something, you could probably trade him away, and you're going to get minimal, and you could be totally wrong. So I'm not dropping him. You just can't. So I'm either trading him or leaving him on my bench.
Okay.
There was one other one that popped into my head. And who was it? Treylon Burks drop. DeAndre Hopkins is almost a drop, but another one that you can't drop. So trade and let's sit. He's out again this week at practice. One I want to wait on is Sky Moore.
Sky Moore still. All right.
I'm definitely waiting on that. His targets are going up. His receptions are going up. His yards fluctuate, but they're still moving him all around the field. So eventually, if he starts getting some red zone targets, he could be a stud. But we got to see this. They have Travis Kelce back now. Everyone's going to be going full speed. I think this week, like you said, would be a good tell on how they're going to be moving forward.
This is the make or break it week. I mean, we'll talk about it when we get to running backs, but I'm looking at Denver facing Chicago. And is Samaje Perine actually going to do something? And Javonte Williams, which I'm rooting for Javonte. It's just he doesn't look fully there. And we had the same thing with Dobbins. It took him a while to get going. That's why I didn't want any of Javonte. So I'm going to see what they do this week. And if I do have them, I'm probably dropping them, especially with bye weeks coming up.
Oh, it's gross. I'm dropping A.J. Dillon.
Yeah, you can do that. I would do that.
I'm just going through the list. Yeah, all set. Dalvin Cook, all set.
Yeah, very disappointing.
Antonio Gibson. I don't think I can wait on him anymore.
Nope, I've already dropped him. Yep, you can already drop him. So I'm all set. They're all set with him too. He keeps turning over the ball and stuff, and just doesn't get enough opportunities.
7 attempts.
7, outrageous.
3 weeks.
And Brian Robinson has like 40.
Yeah.
45.
I don't even know if he's a good backup to stash. He obviously would get the first. I don't even know. That team just hates him, apparently.
They do. We'll get into some stashes, takers. We have bye weeks coming up. They are starting next week in week 5. So we'll get to that. So stick around for that. And then we'll get to all the starts and sits. But before that, we got the Hurt Locker here, Regan, and it is packed.
Spicy.
You need you might need 2 lockers to fit all your stuff now.
Oh God.
Here we go.
You need the whole locker room.
the whole room. just lock the doors on it.
Ah! 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 So to start off with it, first off, welcome to the Hurt Locker.
Oh,
sorry you had to come. That being said, I know it's Thursday night we're recording. You guys are going to be listening to this after the game, but good news that Christian Watson, Aaron Jones, and David Montgomery are back in play. Christian Watson, Aaron Jones, we haven't really seen too much from them on this game. David Montgomery looks like a stud again. Once again, if you were able to trade for him in that down week, awesome. But they used him a shitload. But let's get into the ones that actually matter this week. Austin Eckler back at practice. Awesome sign. Still keep an eye on this, but it's leading to him playing this week. Saquon Barkley is another one that's coming back. He's back at practice, and he plays Monday. So the question is, do you have Matt Breida? And if you do, put Saquon Barkley in your starting lineup. If you don't, I'm a little skeptical.
No, I don't. I mean, I guess if you're up 3-0 right now,
True.
you can afford the risk, you can afford the loss. But if you're
If you're 1-2, you're not doing it probably.
1-2 or 0-3, I'm not. I try to
Totally
take somebody that's definitely playing.
Yep, because he might come back limited as well. So we don't know. There's not much news.
Christian Watson on the field right now. Speak of the devil.
Oh, all right. James Conner is back. Back injury. He was limited today. Brandon Ayuk shoulder limited. Didn't play last week. Deebo Samuel's ribs, knee did not participate, and he has been marked as questionable by the coach today. So that wide receiver crew kind of struggling. When in doubt, though, if one of them is playing, you start them, without a doubt. Jerry Jeudy, knee limited. Zay Jones' knee did not participate and is not expected to play again this week. One that I was excited about, Gus Edwards back at practice in full. Melvin Gordon was the guy that stepped right in. I don't think he knows the offense too much yet, so I think Gus Edwards will take over no problem. But expect to have a little bit of a timeshare there.
Is Justice Hill coming back?
He's also on the injury list.
Yeah.
Still. And there's no news on it. He was I think he was a do not participate today.
Too close to tell. Or too early to tell, rather.
Limited, I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
That's something you can wait up to it. But I think Gus Edwards is still a decent play this week.
Asking for a friend. Sorry.
Cooper Kupp, expected to come off IR week 5.
Really?
He is expected to come off. He is ramping up workouts already. That's great news for Matthew Stafford and the Rams. That the team that we thought were just going to throw the season have actually been making somewhat of a splash. And when you're going to get the number 1 wide receiver back in the NFL, that's a pretty good sign. So good for him.
Question for you then.
Yeah.
Do you trade Puka Nacua this week then?
Yeah. I definitely would.
His peak already passed, but say somebody's in trouble. Say Mike Williams went down this last week. Pour one out for him. His season's over.
Yeah.
Do you trade Puka to that manager?
Try to get something.
Get a running back death piece or something.
So I think Puka's had his best game this season.
Okay.
And I don't think he's going to have another crazy game like that. But I do think he, could be seen as a valued flex play. I don't think he's just going to go away.
I don't think so either.
But they have Tutu, they have him, they have Van Jefferson, they have Higbee. They do have talent there. So once Cooper Kupp, we know how he just peppers Cooper Kupp all game. He's like I'm Ross St. Brown, of the of the Rams. But either way, I would try to trade him.
Okay.
Let's run through a couple more. Traylon Burks, knee limited. We already said drop him. He shouldn't even be on here. Joe Burrow, calf. Practice in full today.
Okay.
What's your thoughts? You moving forward with playing him?
No, you've been going without him, or you should have been anyway this whole time. I would continue doing that and seeing how he comes back. I mean, it was good to see Monday night they were slinging it, but it was out.
Chase, 15 targets.
Thank you. I needed that. Too little, too late though. But 2 seconds to throw the ball, so they're not getting too deep or anything. So, I'm still waiting, holding and waiting. But this is why I said don't draft QB too early.
It's true. Trevor Lawrence kind of shitting a brick on me, and not in.
What was the bet?
Any good way?
What was the bet? I think.
Oh crap! I wrote it down.
You did.
I have it right here.
You said top 8. Top 8.
I think I said top 4.
I bet you 8.5. I said.
Okay. You have way better memory than I do. All right, another QB. Bryce Young, ankle, full participant today. I was kind of butthurt about this because I don't want him to play.
No, none of us do. But what are you gonna do about it?
Another quarterback, Deshaun Watson, shoulder practice limited today. He got hurt in the last week's game. This has been an ongoing thing. think he's going to play, but just keep an eye on this one. Jalen Waddle, Mac cleared off protocol. Good for him. I'm happy they kept him out last week because they did not need him. Maybe they do something we didn't. But I'm glad he's back. DK Metcalf, ribs, did not participate today. Another one to keep an eye on. He's obviously a veteran for the most part. He's still young, but he's still a veteran, and he can, he can miss a couple practices and be fine and play. So just keep an eye on. A couple more. Hollywood Brown, thumb injury. He got hurt today in practice. Jimmy G, limited. DeAndre Hopkins, ankle, did not participate. And Derrick Henry, toe, plus rest, did not participate. Derrick Henry is scaring the shit out of me. Luckily, I didn't draft him anywhere.
Yeah, he's going to take a while to get going. So,
trade for then?
I would trade for because his playoff schedule, Houston twice.
Nice.
In the playoffs. So.
That's looking pretty.
But we can't worry about that right now. If you are 0-3, oof, I don't know.
Yeah, you need to get there to even think about Derrick Henry.
We're going to have a whole separate episode next week about what after this weekend about what to do with these guys.
If you're 0-4. Oh. All right. Well, that there'll definitely be more. I say this every single week after reading this list. I definitely missed a couple. Most likely, they're still coming in today, and so on. They will be coming in tomorrow, and so on. So
just keep on coming.
Yep. Not what?
Get your mind out of the gutter. Thank you, Regan. Takers, make sure you are following us to keep up to date on weather, injuries, and stuff like that. If we are pivoting from guys that we talk about.
Weather is looking good this week so far.
It is, yeah.
Games, so.
Yeah. Not my game Friday night, though. For
That's
the kids
Friday.
I coach. I know. But still, it sucks. All right. Close it up.
You have to like when there's a guy coming right in your face and he just sits in there and delivers it really well.
A lot of guys. All right. Takers, I wanted to get to this. A look ahead. It's never too early to look ahead, like a week or two.
Yeah, I agree.
Little unsolicited tip, Regan. Bye week next week. Week 5, we have the Browns, the Chargers, the Seahawks, and the Bucks. So there's some pretty valuable fantasy players like the stud Keenan Allen.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, you might need a wide receiver. So wide receivers playing tonight, Romeo Doubs, who's 41% rostered, has Las Vegas. And then his teammate, Jalen Reed, he's playing Las Vegas. See what they do tonight. And then it's Thursday night, so hopefully people forget about it by Wednesday.
That's a good point, too.
Pick these guys up. And then Josh Reynolds, too, for Detroit. He's just over 40% rostered. I don't know why. He had a bad week last week. Goose egg. Not even a target. And we were saying to flex him. Sorry about that. But he was on fire, and he looks like he's doing well tonight for the start of it. So I'd keep an eye on those guys to stash in case you need one of those. And then
I like it.
Regan, you're missing some running backs. You picked up Jerome Ford. You spent a lot of fab on him. You got Kenneth Walker. You might need a running back to fill in. Do you have anybody that you could fill in on week 5 that you want to stash? Like I'm thinking maybe Jerick McKinnon.
Gross. I had to play him last week. I loved him getting 17 points for me and 2 touchdowns. He had 2 rushes and 2 receptions.
Insane. But he's playing the Jets. But then the next week is Minnesota. So I don't mind that matchup, dude. If there's a lot of points being scored.
True. Minnesota, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even the Jets. I feel like the Jets, their defense is going to break down with their offense being off the field so much.
Oh, my gosh. Yep. Then another guy I'd stash, not necessarily play, but Jaylen Warren. I'll get to Najee Harris later, but for Pittsburgh, he's like 52% rostered. Pick him up and stash him. You might need him later on in the future.
Tajay Spears is another good stash, I still think. I know you like Derrick Henry.
Yes.
But
Nope,
Tajay
absolutely.
Spears, I'm grabbing everywhere. He's getting a pretty good workload considering Derrick Henry's on this team.
Absolutely agreed, because their offensive line is trash and they got to get the ball out quick to somebody. Yep. So I can see them pivoting to throwing to him more. QB, I really just have one.
Okay.
CJ Stroud for Houston.
Grabbed him this week.
Yep. Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't talk about it in our bets episode, but he's like plus 500 for Rookie of the Year right now. Still pretty good odds. I wouldn't mind that. For the first 3 weeks, he's over 900 yards. He has 2 weeks in a row of throwing 2 touchdowns. He's QB 13 on the year. And he's still widely available with the bye weeks coming up. So say you're losing Herbert or Deshaun Watson this week or Geno Smith. Hey, you could do worse than CJ Stroud. Like, let's see, Jordan Love tonight. So yeah, I'd pick up CJ Stroud. Get ahead of the game if you can.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. We can get back to it in a second. But I want to see Rookies of the Year in the NFL and see what they normally are. Do you know if they're normally quarterbacks?
Nope. It is.
Anything.
It's been heavy wide receivers as of late. All right, so it was Garrett Wilson last year. Before that was Jamar Chase, right? And then
Garrett Wilson, Jamar Chase, Justin Herbert,
Kyler Murray. So yeah, it can be anybody really. But I picked Anthony Richardson before the season at plus 900. He's got to be out there though. He's got to stay healthy.
Yep. CJ, he'll be out there for every game. Anthony Richardson will probably miss another game this year. Mm-hmm. That's the way he plays. So I think that's a great call though, Mac.
Oh, thank you. All right, let's hope I can keep some more good calls going and keep you on your toes.
Boom, tough acting's enacted.
Nope.
With the fungus.
Ew.
Oh, it's athlete's foot. And then defenses, if you want to get nuts, guys, Houston defense at Atlanta. Desmond Ridder sucks. Houston's going to take advantage of bad QBs. And then Miami with New York Giants coming to town. That would be your defense as a stash. If you are using Cleveland, who is one of the best defenses in the league right now.
Makes no sense.
It does, but it doesn't. And then the Bucs.
That happens every year.
You're using that defense. Yeah, I don't know. Get rid of defenses. All right, let's get into, I guess, our starts and sits here now. All right.
Perhaps play a little game called Just a Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels.
Let's see how this feels coming into week 4. Takers, just make sure you're following us Just a Tip FFP, because if things change by then, by Sunday, I forgot.
Uh-oh.
London game, 9:30. Make sure you're waking up and checking your lineups and making sure you're set. You don't want to be caught. Last year we had Kamara be a late scratch, like 5 minutes before kickoff. So set those alarms. Sorry for you those on the West Coast. But
that's rough. Was that 6 a.m.?
Yeah. Yep. And I mean, our good friend of the show, Dynasty Brett Jake, he's over there. In Sunday night games, he has to stay up wicked late. What if there's a late scratch then for Sunday night and Monday night games? That's just no fair to him either. So the whole world should just be on the same clock. Just kidding. All right,
what you want.
QBs, there's the obvious starts, so we're not going to go through them, takers. We record once a week. We don't get paid. You takers don't pay us, so we're not going to go through. Obviously you're starting Justin Herbert. Obviously you're starting Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, blah, blah, blah. Let's get into this guy.
You're really going at the takers. That's kind of rude.
No, no. I'm just saying, throw us like $5 for coffee or something.
Whoa. I'm just trying to stick up for them. They're not here to defend themselves.
You would put it up for them.
Will they take?
They do take. Anthony Richardson. He played 32% of snaps before he got knocked out. He had 17 points and then got removed for his concussion. I'd fire him up again So for me, example, I'm trying to figure out, do I start Tua at Buffalo, who's, lighting it up, number 3 QB on the year right now, or do I take Anthony Richardson against the Rams?
Ooh. I like Anthony Richardson.
Like Anthony Richardson versus the Rams? All right.
I think so. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Bills. They led up a total of 18 points.
Yeah, and you say that, but it was Sam Howell and the Washington Commanders who just absolutely crapped their pants.
That's a good point. It was
Las
Jimmy
Vegas
G.
Raiders and Jimmy G. Like, Tua's better than them. They have a high scoring game, and it's always a spread of like 3 points in the last 3 games. That was even with Skylar Thompson in the playoffs. So I think it's going to be a competitive game. I think I'm going to stick with Tua.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good call.
But I don't blame you going either way. And as you can tell, I'm biased.
Anthony Richardson also isn't a lock to play yet either.
He practiced in full today. He's gone. That
just makes me nervous still.
I know.
I hate that stuff. I hate protocol.
He'll be good. And then we talked about Joe Burrow and the hurt locker and stuff, but I want to roll in Dak Prescott here. I wouldn't be starting these guys, man. Like, you might have spent up for Joe Burrow. Dak Prescott, you probably could have gotten late, but he hasn't been great. And their defense is too good, too. I mean, Jordan Love playing tonight. It's too late to start him, which looks like Detroit's just absolutely destroying them. So good on you.
He might get some garbage time.
Yeah. But CJ Stroud, I start him.
Another one.
Russell Wilson, QB9 on the season, facing Chicago. He's only 60% rostered, and only 50% of those guys are actually starting him. Denver's defense is letting up points, so he's going to have to score as well. The numbers are skewed because Miami pulled their pants down and spanked them and all that. But Sam, yeah, that's true. We can't talk about it though. Yeah. Sam Howell, he put up just under 300 yards and 2 touchdowns versus Denver. So you can start Justin Fields, who's actually been sucking. Like, I get it. He hasn't been seeing the field, and it's disgusting. But I'd rather start Fields or Russell Wilson over Joe Burrow or Dak Prescott, who has New England. Are you on my side or no?
I think I am, but I don't want to be. I have a one league where I have Justin Fields. I drafted 3 quarterbacks. You're in this league. I drafted 3 quarterbacks, Justin Fields, and then I got Joe Burrow as my backup. I mean, not Joe Burrow, Daniel Jones as my backup. And then in the 14th round, like I've said this 3 times, Dak Prescott was there. I was like, I'm grabbing him. I'll just trade him away or something like that. Daniel Jones has been sucking. I dropped him. It is what it is.
Okay.
So I'm rolling with Justin Fields and Dak Prescott. Well, I benched Justin Fields last week, played Dak Prescott. Big mistake. So this week, what do? I got Justin Fields and Dak Prescott, and I don't want to play either.
I'm playing Justin Fields. I got to look into it more with Dak Prescott versus New England when he only played him once, I think.
I hate playing anyone versus New England.
Yeah, overtime game with CD Lamb getting a touchdown.
That's right.
Late. And, like, okay, that saved his day. Like, I'm going Fields, man. Going against bad defenses, and hopefully they fix it. But it's tough out there in the streets, those QB streets, man.
I think Fields definitely has an ability to turn it around, though. He's just not playing his game. He started off slow last year. He started off slow this year. The problem is you're not seeing any like signs of anything this year.
They feel defeated, or they look defeated. I bet they're feeling defeated. And it's 3 design runs for Justin Fields. That's insane. All season, not just one game. All season.
Averaging 1 a game.
Ridiculous. Get him out there, and I think they'll do it against Denver. It took him like 5 weeks last season to get going as well.
Maybe Denver's the get-right game. I don't want to miss out on that.
I don't want it either. So I'd start him.
Starting Fields.
Borderline, top 14 QB, I guess.
I was going to say 15. So, yeah I like it.
All right. What about wide receivers here? Who we got to start not flex. We'll get to flexes later, but unless you want to specify, but somebody that I can just lock in my lineup and not think about it.
These two that I actually have myself are kind of on the cusp of a wide receiver 2 to a flex. So Christian Kirk, after a horrible week 1, he's kind of been turning it back on. Zay Jones obviously has been out, but looks like he's going to be out again. Christian Kirk in the past 2 games, he's averaging about 18 PPR points per week. I'm going to keep going with that. The Jags need to get going. They need to get this offense going. Christian Kirk is definitely going to be a part of it. He's one of T-Law's favorite receivers, so I think you plug him in no problem.
Agreed.
The last one I got is Courtland Sutton. So surprisingly, he's a wide receiver 23 so far. 3 decent weeks already. In this week, he goes against Chicago. They're not that good. So
what? What? An 0-3 team, not that good.
Yeah. Either way, I think he's a great play this week. The thing is, though, with Courtland Sutton, is I'm very worried about his next 8 games. So I think this is one of those things where you play Courtland Sutton this week, you have him do decent versus Chicago, and you trade him away. And I'm telling you this because he has 6 out of the 8 teams he's going to play next are, it might be top 5 to top 10. Not obviously not top 5, but close to top 5 defenses versus the wide receiver core of the opposing team. It's just you look down the schedule, it's all red. So that's 6 weeks, and then one of them's a bye week. So he's got 1 game. I don't know if I wrote it down, but he's got 1 game versus a bad defense in the next 8 weeks. So that's 1 week out of 8 that I would play him. So if you can get something for Courtland Sutton after another good game, 4 good games put together, I'm fine with shipping him out. Jerry Jeudy's going to be coming into his own again, hopefully, unless they trade him away, because that's come up again.
I think one of these guys are actually going to be traded during this offseason. During the season.
Really?
Marvin
Mims.
Chicago.
Stash.
Yes, Marvin Mims, another good stash. If he's already making noise with very limited opportunities.
Very limited, but just killing it on a play or 2 a game.
If Jeudy or Courtland Sutton are traded, they got the Jets, Kansas City, Green Bay, which that's beatable, then Kansas City again. And they put up points against Kansas City, even though Kansas City's defense looks awesome this year, man.
I'm scared. They play them twice in the next 8 games.
It's scary. And then the bye week's week 9. So getting close to that trade deadline there. And I
just don't think there's another game that he'll play that you're going to be able to get a trade off of him.
Maybe that Kansas City game if week 6, if it goes off in points, but who knows? Yeah, you're right. It might be at the peak. What another running back depth piece? I don't know what you can get for him.
Yeah, definitely. You're not going to really get any wide receiver there. But if you could stack him with somebody else, you could look at, I don't even know. If you were to give him and, I want to get Laporta. That we were talking about it. I was like, what could I put with Sutton to get Laporta? Well, the thing is, or I just told you, I benched Waller for Laporta. That means I have Waller and Laporta on the same team. After one of their bye weeks, say Laporta, I can get rid of Waller. Really, so
maybe he needs to turn on though. Fun times. Few receivers I just want to spotlight.
Yep.
They're wide receiver 3. If you're in a wide receiver 3 league or flex, and kind of just gauge are you starting them or are we gonna bench them type of thing. This guy I'm flexing, Tutu Atwell, averaging over 5 receptions in a game, and he's getting into the end zone for the Rams. They're at Indy. Last week I said Jordan Addison for the Vikings, just missed on a touchdown. He's borderline wide receiver 2 upside, right?
Oh yeah.
Or okay.
I'm playing him every week.
What about Gabe Davis versus Miami? It's gonna be a high point total. Josh Allen's gonna throw 50 times.
I just don't like playing Gabe Davis. He's a boom or bust play every single week.
All right. I already talked about Jahan Dotson, but we're benching Jahan. We'd play Gabe Davis over him.
I would, because I just like the quarterback better.
Okay.
I'd
How
rather
about
go with a better quarterback.
All right, you like this quarterback. Trevor Lawrence throwing to Calvin Ridley. You started out hot, but then he had wide receivers finishes at 82 and 66. He is at Atlanta. What are we doing with Calvin Ridley? Are we just starting him and just take what we get?
I think so. He's had some bad luck the past 2 weeks.
Just inches away from touchdowns.
Yeah. So I'm fine with just playing him.
Okay. What about this guy struggling a bit? Chris Godwin. It's not really him struggling, though. It's the offense. Baker Mayfield, they had bad weather last game against the Eagles. Plus, it's the Eagles. Wide receiver 47 on the year. He hasn't been getting enough volume with purposeful targets like downfield more. Too close to the line. So, wide receiver 3, borderline flex.
He's on the cusp of both of those.
They have New Orleans this week, so I think he's a sneaky flex. I'm not excited to start him, though, but I'll explain that later when we get to Tippin Ain't Easy.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. Any running backs that you want to start? We'll move on to them.
I could steal yours.
Go right ahead.
I don't like the ones you put in here. Oh, that Miami backfield. Can we talk about that for a second?
Sure. I'm always ready for that.
I know, but who can we play both?
Yeah, I would.
Really?
Raheem Mostert, the number 1 running back on the season right now. Just like we all thought. He's better.
I got him as a free agent in a league.
That's awesome. He is better than Christian McCaffrey. Can you believe
that? Ranking wise?
Well, in fantasy points, I'm just kidding. But yeah, Devon. Oh God,
Achane?
Nope, it's not Achane anymore. Achane, whatever he wants to be called.
He changed it again.
He changed it again. So he had no points, 1 point, and then just went off with his 50+ burger. He is running back 6 on the year.
Comical.
After just that one game. Just that one game, man. He's better than Bijan.
Wow,
he's better than James Conner. James Conner's been killing it this year.
Standard, he's 4.
Oh my God. Yeah, touchdowns are king, man. So target those offenses that are scoring touchdowns. Yes, I know it's the Bills. They're tougher defense, but they kick the ass of Jimmy G and Sam Howell. I don't think they're going to do that to Miami Dolphins.
Don't forget Wilson. Zach Wilson.
Oh, and I totally forgot that was the first game. Yeah, so I'd start them up probably over everybody on this list except Josh Jacobs, who disappointing start, but he has the Chargers coming up, man.
I would go try to get Josh Jacobs.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
Last week, he's averaging 10 fantasy points per game. Do you think the person that drafted Josh Jacobs is actually happy with that?
I'm pissed.
I would be too. All right. What wide receiver are you going to trade for him? Cortland Sutton and another piece, maybe? Like a Zach Moss, who's been killing it. But if Jonathan Taylor comes back, I think
you could trade Zach Moss straight up for Josh Jacobs.
Really?
I think you could.
Oof, I don't know. All right, I guess start with that. But if they're aware that Jonathan Taylor might be coming back, but then there's rumors that he's not going to play for them, it's a whole mess. So,
yeah, that already came back out, and the fact that it already came back out about Jonathan Taylor saying that he still wants to be traded is wild.
Mm-hmm.
So,
agreed.
I'm fine with keeping rolling Zach Moss.
Okay. All right, I would roll with him too. But yeah, Josh Jacobs, I'm targeting. These guys, I'm not targeting. Disappointing guys. Dameon Pierce really sucked, but he's starting to turn around. Their offensive line has been garbage, so that's another guy you could probably trade low for.
Yep, agreed.
What about these two? Javonte Williams we talked about, but it's Chicago. Get right game. His RB finishes 29, 30, and 28. Very disappointing. You probably haven't been starting him, though. You probably got him later.
I have him as a RB3 in one league. But because of injuries, I'm on the cusp of playing him. But I got lucky and grabbed Zach Moss, which is great.
There you go.
That being said, it's not even like Pirine stealing his work. He's not even doing anything either. So it's the running back room is just not part of this offense at this time. And it needs to be, because you're letting the other teams have the ball so much. They're scoring so much on you.
True.
You need to run the ball, waste out the clock.
Oh, it might just be Russell Wilson's just so good that they just keep passing on all the defenses, right?
Mr. Unlimited.
That was coming.
He's a bench for me. So is Samaje.
Oh, yeah, he is, but I definitely am not dropping Javonte Williams. I do think he eventually will turn something on. I hope so. They have to.
If you drafted him, you knew what was coming with it. Najee Harris, running back 48 on the season. Jaylen Warren eventually is taking over. They have Houston this week, man, which they're better against quarterbacks and the pass than they are with their run defense. Are you starting any of these two against Houston?
Either.
Okay,
but I don't really agree with you about the Warren taking over.
Okay,
Harris's attempts have gone up. Went from 6, 10 to 19 the past 3 weeks. Week 1 was versus San Fran. I don't blame anyone sucking versus them.
Yeah.
And then Cleveland and the Raiders. Obviously, the team has also been sucking. They're not getting in the red zone. We were talking about this earlier about Dante Johnson being out. It's really killing the team and keep killing their drives. I think Harris is a buy low.
Okay. Yeah, I think Matt Canada sucks with his play calling.
That also is true. You are right.
Yep, you're right. The attempts have gone up to 19, but his snap percentage has gone down. So Jaylen Warren, his snap percentage is slowly climbing, and he's getting more targets too in the passing game.
Yeah.
But yeah, his attempts was 3, 6, and 8. So I would stash Jaylen Warren.
I don't think that's a bad call.
Yeah,
and Harris is going to eventually get butthurt about this situation, and who knows what will happen? Injury, being frustrated, putting yourself out on the line, whatever it may be. Warren's definitely one of the best stashes here. I guess maybe not the best stash because that's really not that many attempts, but I still think Harris is a stash for yourself and a buy low candidate.
Stash yourself and buy low. Yep, I got it. All right, one more question on running backs here, Regan.
Nah.
No?
That's good. Go ahead.
Well, this is going to support your argument that running backs just suck. They're pointless.
I've been saying this for years.
If you can't get one of the top 5, don't even freaking bother. Does this sound good to you? Points scored, 15, then 7 the last 3 weeks. This is what you want as like a starting running back for you? You okay with that?
From what I've been working with, it's okay, but it's nothing crazy, and I'm not too excited about it.
I gotcha. Well, that is Ramondre Stevenson at running back 16.
Yeah.
I thought this was be a great year for him. What is going on? They're facing Dallas. Do we start him?
Yeah, you probably have to. You drafted him I have him in one league, and he was my number 1.
Oh, man.
Yep, and I also drafted Garrett Wilson because I thought he was going to be awesome. And I had A.J. Brown, who I thought he was going to be awesome. Thank God he did something last week.
Yeah,
but that team's in shambles. But, yeah, Ramondre Stevenson, I'm playing throughout. We know what that offense is like. The fact that it's a little bit of a struggle, it's kind of weird. Obviously, I don't really know what's going on compared to last year and his 70 targets or catches or whatever it was, and 20 attempts per game. It's now dropped quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't think New England knows what's going on either. So,
yeah, they must be trying to figure something out because it's pissing me off.
All right, you starting him over Najee?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, you starting him over. Let's see, Devon Achane against Buffalo. Maybe you picked him up off of waivers and it's on the same team.
You're an ass.
Yep. You are what you eat.
Tell me how you really feel.
Edit that out.
To cut the awkwardness, I am starting Stevenson over him.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh. You want to bet on this?
Yep.
PPR points, Devon Achane. Achane is more than Ramondre Stevenson.
Got my green pen, buddy, for the money that you're going to give me.
Boom.
That money.
Wings. That's what it is. I don't know. We really need like a bet sounder.
Wild card, bitches! Yeah!
I like it.
Okay. Tight ends. I kind of want to go through this quick, but it's kind of important. Takers, tight ends suck. Worse than running backs, I believe. This position. Tight end 6 through 3 weeks is Donald Parham of the Chargers with 7 targets, 6 receptions, 33 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Is that real?
Yeah, you gotta go with guys that have good quarterbacks. So ones that have been disappointing you with their QB play: Cole Kmet, Pat Freiermuth, and Kyle freaking Pitts. I would never draft him, but a lot of you guys have. Do you have Kyle Pitts anywhere in Regan?
No.
He's tight end 19. Cole Kmet, tight end 16. Pat Freiermuth is saving you with touchdowns, but only 9 targets on the season, man.
So Parham's only got 7.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. So Pat Freiermuth is tight end 15, 21 points, the 27 for Parham. So, it's got to balance out and stuff, but you got to go with the hot hand at tight ends right now.
For the most part, you should be trying to grab somebody like I've been bringing that up. Ferguson, Musgrave, even Higby. Those are 3 guys I kind of just like keep on my team because I probably drafted somebody else, and those guys were necessarily kind of easy pickups.
Yeah, you're right. Luke Musgrave, tight end 10, 28% roster. Jake Ferguson, who you've been talking about, tight end 11, 34% roster. Should people start him this week?
I do believe so.
Okay. Against New
I'm
England.
going to talk about it later on, but yeah, he's definitely a start. I think the Pats take out CeeDee Lamb, and I think he becomes a pretty valuable target for Johnny. I don't like to score fantasy points. Prescott.
Johnny, yeah, that's his name. What's his real name? Dakota. Is that what it is? Dakota. Dakota sounds right. I don't know where I'm pulling that out. All right, sneaky tight end start. I have that nobody's talking about. Logan Thomas for Washington is versus Philadelphia.
Out of the protocol.
So out of the protocol, coming back. Philadelphia has given up the top 5 scoring tight ends each week, or on the season, and the most receiving touchdowns to tight ends. So he's going to get into the end zone this week. I guarantee it, like I guaranteed Gabe Davis 2 weeks ago. Put it on the board. Touchdown to Logan Thomas.
Deboned chicken stuffed in a deboned duck stuffed in a deboned turkey with dressing between the chicken and the duck and the duck and the turkey.
We need to make that this year.
Oh, dude, we totally should. All right. Defenses, ones you've been playing, play them. You can't tell. It's too early. Like, okay, yeah, play the best matchup. Oh,
yep.
Arizona is a top 10 defense. You want to play them this week against the 49ers? I don't think so. I wouldn't go down that journey.
Buffalo's been killing it. Not playing them versus Miami.
Well then, so you dropping them, or are you dropping another play to play a different defense?
I dropped somebody and grabbed the Saints defense. Surprisingly, they were on the free agents list. So,
wow, yeah, 82% rostered. So, Bengals sneaky.
Yeah, we were talking about Seattle versus the Giants is kind of scary to me. You were thinking no.
I'm thinking no. I think it's a bounce back game for the Giants. It's just, I don't know. What can you do? Try to take a good matchup. I would just play Buffalo. Who's you drop for the Saints though?
I hope it wasn't Zeke.
Yeah, that's fine. I would
And
do
like-
that. That's fine. If you're
get
scared of
impatient.
Miami, yeah, if you're scared of Miami, I get it.
Just say it.
I just got it. Let's go with our sexy flexy calls. All right, Regan, who are you sliding into your flex position?
Adam Thielen
Oh,
is definitely my
okay.
flex play, and I got excited last week, but I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait it out with Dalton, see how that really goes. It went better than expected. It was really nice. So back-to-back good weeks for Adam Thielen. Started off a little slow week 1, but that means he had a good game with Bryce Young and Dalton. So that makes me feel great. Bryce Young is coming back. So that makes me feel like Adam Thielen's ceiling is a little bit lower with Bryce Young, which isn't too exciting compared to Dalton and the chemistry that they had last week, which was phenomenal. But Adam Thielen, I definitely think it's a flex play. He's definitely made himself, the front runner for the wide receiver 1 with them. And they're going against, who are they playing this week?
A revenge game against Minnesota, baby.
Oh, that's 30th worst versus wide receivers. I'm playing them.
So you're playing them even if Bryce Young starts, and not just Andy Dalton.
Yeah, I believe he had 17 points or 11 points. Give me 1 second. I don't even remember.
With Bryce Young, you mean?
Yep.
Yep.
Is that what it was?
Sure. Something
13.
like
13.4.
13.
So he had double-digit points with Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
He had 9 targets, 7 catches. I'm fine with it. Last week he had 11 catches on 14 targets.
Yep.
The offense is running around him. They're going to the veteran guy. Took him a little bit, took him a game to get into it. I think he's a great flex.
I like it. An even better flex, though. Somebody young. Tank Dell, guys, for Houston. Wide receiver 13. I wasn't going to do this, but he is only 66% rostered. What are you doing, takers? Pick him up. You can start him. Throw him in your flex. He is CJ Stroud's first read. 22% target share. First read, 25% of the time he's going to throw into him. And he's beating guys to the outside. I know he's little. He's not just staying in
Wide receiver 13.
the slot in PPR format, wide receiver 13.
Wow. I didn't even notice that.
Long bomb, 68-yard touchdown. That was his play. He has that big play making ability. Tank Dell, put him in your lineup. Guaranteed touchdown again.
You're a loser.
Yes.
He said 2 each one. He's had 1 the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. So he's on pace for, what is that? 16 touchdowns this season.
17 targets, though. I do love that. Mac, are you nervous, though? He didn't practice today.
21 targets, sir. 15 receptions.
17 targets past 2 games, I said.
Past 2 games. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Suck another one. He didn't practice today. Are you nervous?
Nope.
Good,
Veteran
it's just a rest game.
veteran rest day. For a rookie. He's earned it. That's my guy for I can't. I had him and Nico Collins on one team, so I dropped Nico. That's how much I believe in Tank.
Wow.
But Nico's been doing well, and no trades allowed in that league. So,
what
had to drop.
losers.
I know, sucks. It's the big bowl. It's whatever. It's fine.
That one.
Had to make room. All right, let's get into.
Yeah, that's our league. You're a loser. That's good.
I'm a big loser.
Carry on.
I will. Tippin ain't easy.
All we do is sit around here and guess what a bunch of little pricks are going to go and do out there. Then we come back at half time and we complain because they didn't do exactly what we thought they'd do.
All right, takers, and tipping ain't easy. We put our tips on the line for you. and it's a risque
wanna.
call. I know it hurts. But who you got? You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I mean, I can go first.
Okay.
I'm benching Alvin Kamara, coming off his 3-game suspension. First Tampa Bay, 15th best versus the run. I wouldn't say crowded backfield. Javonte Williams went out on IR.
Mm-hmm.
And Kendra Miller. I'm all set. It's just I'm a little nervous about him breaking the rust off and really getting into there. So I'm definitely down for waiting a week after he plays a great defense. And I'm sure they're going to probably ease him into it anyways. I don't think he's allowed to practice during suspension, right?
I don't think so. I think he
with
has
the
to be
teams.
away from the field, but you act like I did my research on that. Come on.
No, I'm pretty sure that's accurate. Suspension, I don't think they're allowed to be in the facility. We'll fact check that in general. But,
Sure.
yeah, I'm fine with doing that. But I did have a question with this, Mac.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something we were talking about it offline. Bears running backs are going against...
I would roll them
Denver.
against Denver. Yeah.
So you would bench Kamara and play one of the others? Herbert or Johnson?
Even if I am 0-3, I am benching Kamara because I have no idea what they're going to use him in this offense. Is Jameis Winston going to get him the ball? No. Jameis Winston slinging it downfield. So great game for Olave and Michael Thomas. Hopefully they get peppered with targets. Actually, Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah.
No, he's sneaky. But I'd rather take the opportunity, especially if I'm 0-3. I need a boom play. I'm hoping Rashawn and Khalil Herbert do well against Denver like Miami did. Hopefully they get out in space and just break the tackles like they did.
Either?
I love Roshan.
Yeah.
I want him. You got to pick him up everywhere, guys. He's like 48% rostered, but I said that last 2 weeks, so
You did?
I don't know why people aren't listening.
All
right, good.
Picked him up in 2.
There you go. All right, my guy that I am benching, Mike Evans, facing New Orleans. He is wide receiver 5 on the year, guys. Why would you bench the wide receiver 5? Well, he's never had more than 50 yards receiving against New Orleans. Marshawn Lattimore just destroys him every time. He's had like one good game in his history, and it doesn't matter. I know, 30% target share, deep balls to him, first read. He's Baker Mayfield's favorite target. I ain't trusting him. I think he's only had 3 touchdowns against Lattimore too in his career, so it's not good. They're in the same division too, so twice a year, it's not good. He's a wide receiver 3 flex play for me, but I don't want to play him. Like if it's between him, Jahan Dotson, yeah, I'm playing him.
Give you one.
Zach Moss in my flex. I'm playing Zach Moss. Amari Cooper. Yeah, I'm playing him. Chris Godwin. I mentioned this on the other side. I am taking him. I think this is a game that Chris Godwin can actually make some noise and guarantee another touchdown. Boom! Let's go, Chris Godwin. That's 3 touchdowns guaranteed. I'd rather play Jordan Addison. And Tutu Atwell as well.
Cuss for me.
This is like kind of the same tier.
What about Calvin Ridley?
Yes, I played Calvin Ridley over. Yes, I know. He's been disappointing. I know. And wide receiver 5, you are benching. I don't like it. And I don't blame you if you're not going to do it. But just the way history has been playing out.
If you're able to shift him to your flex, I would feel okay.
Okay. If you have that luxury, which you might, because a lot of people passed on him because they didn't believe in Baker Mayfield and stuff. And yeah, I get it.
Still don't.
You might have to, but all right. Yeah, I'm playing Tank Dell over him.
Drake London.
Oh God. Go Mike Evans there.
Yeah, me too.
London. Get Drake London. Oh, speaking of London, Kyle Pitts' first touchdown was there too. He's got it he can only score when he's overseas. So Kyle Pitts, I don't mind if you have him, but I just never would do that. No. I play Mike Evans over Drake London. I'm all set.
Sorry, Jared.
I saw.
Mad.
I was looking. I was like, oh, he's going deep. Nope. Never mind. All right.
I swear, if Green Bay comes back in this game, I'm going to lose my mind.
I'm going to be pissed. I might quit the podcast. I might just...
Look, with all due respect to everyone, fuck everyone.
All right. He's saying to his own mind right now.
That probably is what he's saying. All right. Do we want to go through the wins?
Yeah, why not? Let me bring it up real quick.
Thank you.
You are an asshat. All right, ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who do you got? So I'm guessing you picked the Lions today. I think we talked about that already.
Yep, we picked the Lions. Yep.
All right, so Atlanta at Jacksonville.
It's in London, and I'm going Jacksonville.
Yep, same. Baltimore, Cleveland.
Baltimore. This one's the toughest one, man.
I hate when we're the same because that means we're both wrong.
We both sucked last week too, man.
I know. Bengals, Tennessee.
Bengals.
Denver,
Tennessee.
Chicago.
The other tough one.
I have Broncos.
All right. Want to put a bet on it? Bears.
No, I don't want to put a bet on a game like that.
Come on.
It's a 50-50 shot.
Beer with the wings.
If you can remember it yourself, I'll take it because I'm not writing that one down.
Okay, I got you.
Rams, Colts. This is a good game right here.
Rams and Colts.
Yeah.
Ooh, with Richardson coming back. I'm gonna go Rams. I'm gonna take the Rams.
Fuck, I have the Rams as well. Miami, Buffalo.
Miami.
Yep.
What? Whoa! I didn't think you would.
I think I have to. It is in Buffalo, which is kind of like the only thing that I'm just like, eh. But I think Miami's on such a high. Mm-hmm. I feel like they
too high.
That's a good point. But Buffalo.
Miami Twitter is outrageous, and they're like, the pressure's on Buffalo and blah blah blah. It's like, no, it's not. They're the kings of the East until proven otherwise, man. Like, come on, the pressure's not on them. It's all on Miami.
Hey, if they beat Miami, they have the same record, and it's all back to even Stevens. So.
Yep, this is their chance for Miami to pull away and get a good cushion.
Battle of the 0-3s, Vikings, Carolina.
God. Vikings. But I've picked them like every single game.
Me too.
This season, and it's pissing me off.
I picked the Vikings and the Lions, other than week 1, every week.
It's just, against the Chargers, I really thought they would have that, and Chargers tried giving that away to them. Ridiculous.
Couldn't agree more. Steelers, Houston. Can Houston set up another one?
So here's the thing. Houston's defense is good against bad quarterbacks, and Kenny Pickett is a bad quarterback. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think I might switch it. I have it. Steelers,
their offensive line's so bad, though. I think
Steelers defense is pretty good, too.
I think Steelers defense is going to win it. Give me Steelers.
Ooh, if you can play the Steelers defense this week. Liking it.
Heavily rostered.
Yeah, no. Bucks, Saints. Remember, Carr is
Jameis Winston revenge game.
3 to 5 years later.
Give me the Saints. Saints, let's go.
I'm going Bucks.
Oh, okay.
Commanders, Eagles. Raiders, Chargers. Cardinals, 49ers.
49. Well, I mean, we laughed at it last week, too, and they kicked Dallas's ass, but I don't see them doing that to the 49ers.
Okay, yeah. Well, what if they don't have a wide receiver?
Who? 49ers?
Fran. Both.
Oh, true.
Both guys
Ayuk and Debo. Man, big Kittle game. Ooh. Play him in DFS.
That's why I like talking about these with you because we always come up with
I was gonna say I gotta see who their backup is. It's not Trent Sherfield. Who is their backup? Wide receiver. Nah, move on.
All right, the one I don't want to hear what you have to say. Patriots, Dallas.
Dallas. In my survivor pool, playing Dallas.
Ooh, I don't think that's a good idea, man.
I already used San Fran against the Giants. I used Washington against Arizona in the first week, and I used the Saints against Carolina on last Monday or the Monday before. So I think Dallas is going to just smack New England after being embarrassed by Arizona. And Jalen Reed, another big catch, or is that a pick? No, it's another catch on the 5-yard line.
I have Dallas right now, but I'm on the cusp of changing it to New England.
Yeah, well, Homer.
I just love
as
their
Homer
defense,
does.
And it's just Chiefs, Jets. Chiefs.
What part of their defense do you love? Them beating Zach Wilson or losing to Tua and Jalen Hurts?
They almost beat Tua, and they almost beat Jalen Hurts.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
They stuck with both teams way more than people thought they would.
They couldn't stop the run. Tony Pollard is going to have 150 yards rushing.
Yeah, that's a problem. I don't get that.
Yeah, they don't have good linebackers.
They haven't. All right, so Chiefs, Jets, Chiefs, and then the last one on Monday night. Only one Monday night game, Mac.
Yes, thank God.
Seattle versus the Giants.
Yeah, I'm going Seattle, but I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. So I don't mind playing Waller and Daniel Jones. And then one of these receivers are going to break out in a game. I don't know who it's going to be.
For the Giants?
For the Giants, yeah. Hyatt, ooh, that'd be cool.
I don't know. It is what it is. Don't quote me on that one, please.
No, don't play him. You're not playing any of them.
No.
But somebody to keep an eye on. It'll be fun.
I like it.
Be a fun Monday night game. Hopefully better than the last two that we had.
What do you got for leftovers, buddy?
Leftovers was going to be a baseball related one because I thought Ryan would be on, but
by the way, I hate baseball.
I know you do. But I'll save it for Ryan. Yeah, Frank Cohn retiring. I just wanted to reminisce.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to reminisce on the Red Sox winning their championships.
Good old days.
Ah, the good old days. Those times. What a time to be alive. That was fun. But yeah, I guess he's retiring after this season's ended. So
baseball's just gross.
Listen
to 98.5 in WEI about
baseball. All right. I need a Bidge please for this. Freaking sports radio is absolute garbage. They have no idea what they're talking about. We do more research and we don't get paid for it. And they talk just out of their ass. Like they still say that Tua is just throwing 5-yard outs and the receivers are doing all the work. And he's only throwing to Waddle and Tyreek Hill. They didn't even know that Waddle didn't play last game against Denver. It's like, shut the hell up, guys. So you know what you're talking about.
It's bad, and I'm surprised you actually heard them talk about sports because most of the time they're not talking about sports.
That's very true.
Pathetic.
Oh, you guys want to talk about Taylor Swift some more? Oh, I hate Taylor Swift, but let's talk about it for the next hour. Shut the hell up. I'm sorry. I told myself I wouldn't bring it up on this podcast either. Nothing against you Swifties. It's nothing to do with fantasy football though.
Oh my God.
What do you got for leftovers?
I got nothing. That was awesome.
All right, cool. So that's enough. Let's go with the outro then. Points scored. Romeo Dobbs, please. Touchdown here.
Was it? That was my wife texting me because she's having trouble getting the kids down.
Oh. Touchdown to Jalen Reed.
Ooh, hey, you called that. You said to pick him up.
You're going to have to pick him up. I figured he'd make... No, miss. Never mind. Not a touchdown.
Oh.
All right. Close, though. Close. Guess he couldn't get it in.
All right, well, everybody, good luck week 4. This is the make or break. It really is. This is when you start dropping players or start trading players.
Dropping and trading if you cannot make some noise happen this week. So we'll help you out next week with that. With the game plan. So make sure you stick around, subscribe, like, all that jazz. Just a Tip FFP. Hit us up with any questions you got. Say hello to your mothers for me.